Hi, it's Mike at Phase One DJ store. Have I got a product to show you today? Check that out. That is the brand new Pioneer XDJ-700. If players could be cute, this is cute. Look at that. Absolutely brilliant. Right, that's with the feet off. Let me show you. It comes with a set of feet. And they just clip into place and lock in, and then funnily enough, when you put it against any of the other CDJs in the range, like the 2000, the 900, all the Nexus range, it actually brings it up to exactly the same level, so it's going to sit amongst your setup that you've already got. I think this has got loads of different uses, this player. You know, if you've got a pair of CDJ 2000s and you're like, could do with an extra player, but I don't want to spend £1,500, this could be your answer. Right, this video, we're going to cut it up into little bite-sized bits and we're going to show you what it can do. And I'm amazed at the features you get with this product at this price point from Pioneer. I like it. XDJ-700. Right, so we've got it on our Pioneer testing station here in the shop, and as you can see, it even sits level, perfectly level with the PLX turntable. Just so happens we have one of them, but going right up the range, you see at the far end we've got the XDJ-1000 followed by the CDJ-900, DJM-900, CDJ-2000 Nexus, PLX turntable, and now we've got this little fellow on the end. This is the Pioneer XDJ-700. One of the beauties about this little player, and one of the most important factors for me, is it uses the Pro Link. So I haven't even got a USB stick in here yet. Not going to put one in because actually my USB stick is all the way up there, stuck in that CDJ-900. If we can zoom in, there we go. I'll just get some focus. You can see the little red USB stick there. So these are all linked together, every single player. The XDJ-1000 on the end, the CDJ-900 Nexus there, the CDJ-2000 Nexus, and now this little fella is all linked in on the Pro Link. Brilliant feature. Right, first things first. For those who don't know about the Pro Link, how have we got all these decks linked together? Well, in the back of these units, you have an Ethernet cable, right? And this cable is going into this router. You will need to buy a router to do this particular setup we've got here. So this feeds into this router, then it's feeding off to, not to the turntable obviously, because you can't link a turntable before you ask. It's going off, every deck is coming into there. So we've got 4 decks coming into this router, and then in the back of this XDJ-700, we plug that in, and then this is becoming player number 4 right on the end. And that means that they're all linked. We can use the sync facilities and the master facilities, and we can browse, and there's just brings a world of features to it. But we use this. You don't have to have a router. Say you just had 2 players, you could just link the 2 players by, say you had 2 of these, you come out of here on an Ethernet cable and go into another one. Very simple. But we've got so many things linked up here. We've even got the mixer linked up, the DJM 900, we've got that linked in as well, so then all our effects will be quantized as well. So that's how the Pro Link works. It's very simple but very, very effective, and the fact that it's in this player is nothing short of amazing. Right, so my USB stick is in the player at the other end of the desk. What we need to do is press the link button here, and it says there, Recordbox features. This is a Recordbox product. Like, I can't stress this enough. You could plug a USB stick into this and have some MP3s on and stuff like that, and it'll play them. But to not use this with Recordbox, for me, is criminal. Recordbox is a free piece of software. There's loads of videos on that and tutorials. You need to go and look at that. But we're using Recordbox. Our USB stick has been analysed by Recordbox, and we've pressed the link, and as you saw there, it brought up a little notification saying my settings were found, because I save my settings to my USB stick. If I want to load my settings to this little player, I just press the menu button And there we are. And I like my settings to be plus minus 6% on the pitch fader, and I like the master tempo on, and that brings them in. And it even changes the colour of the screen as well, because for some reason I have it set as red, so all the players will be lit up in red. Right, so we've talked about linking them all up. First thing we want to do is we want to have a look at what we can browse. Very familiar, just like the XDJ-700 and 900. You know, this little machine does inherit so many parts and features from the other players. It's quite amazing, really. So because we've used Recordbox, we can search album, track, artist, key, playlist. We can use our histories. We could have got a search. The search facility is really nice. This is going to be familiar as well, this little knob here. Right, if you want to select something, you just press it. Brings up a nice QWERTY keyboard, so we can type in and search, which I think is really good. I think that's one of the things when you've got a lot of music on a USB stick, to be able to search. And the touch screen on this is very, very responsive. If I just want to go back at any point, so I just press the back button there. We can search by folder, by BPM. So all the usual aspects that I would expect to get from a Recordbox product. So if we were to go to track, and then if we were just wanting to select a track, we can load a track up. Again, we've got a full zoom in and zoom out using this same browsing button. Again, if I want to go back to have a look again, just press the the back button. If I want to load a different track, not a problem. So as you can see there, that works really, really well. So coming back to the screen, we've got our browse, we've got our tag list, we've got our info for link, so we can see which source we're playing that track from. So this is connected to player 2 at the minute. And the USB stick, the track that's loaded, is actually, the USB stick is into player 2, which is obviously further up the setup that we showed you earlier. We've got, if I go back out of that, we've got our menu and utility. So we can go in, change all the different features of what we want to do. All the usual suspects on there, screen brightness, MIDI channels, different personal settings that you'd probably want to set. If we just go back out of there, and obviously you can see there we've got a track loaded up. We've got a full waveform across the bottom. A few little features we've got. Right, we've got the Recordbox button and we've got the USB button, but we're currently using the link because we're linked. Right, let's talk about the perform. So if we go into perform, you can see there now we've got a loop. So we'll set the track playing. If we want to set a loop, a 4-beat loop, there it is, it's done. It's as simple as that. If we want to cut that down, it's very, very clear. Works really, really well. If I want to double it, I've got the double it button. That's taking up to 16, now 32, 64 beats, 128 beat loop. Why we want to do that, I'm not so sure. And then again, you can half it. And then we can exit the loop. So the looping system on it, superb. If we want to do hot cues, so if we wanted to set a hot cue, we just press the record button here, and we've recorded one there. We'll just drop some random cue points in. If I want to recall them, now you've got the quantize on, so it's always going to be on beat. If we want to turn the quantize off, we can turn the quantize off there, and you can see this screen is very, very, very responsive. Just works. One thing that has impressed me about the XDJ range, and including the 1000, is how good the touch screen is. I was a little bit concerned that the touch screen wouldn't be good enough, but I was wrong. It is really, really tight. So what also we can do is we've got slip mode as well. If I just come out of here now, and if we go, so it's like a slip loop. Now if you can see the display at the bottom, the track is still playing, and you can see the marker. And as soon as I let go of this, it's going to drop in. What I'll do is I'll scrub through this track a little bit. and we'll do it again. Now we can see here along the bottom, because I've got a full display, we should be able to feel when or see when the beat's going to drop in. I think you could use that, lots and lots of different features. We've got a vinyl brake as well, which we don't on the other players. There tends to be a little knob up here, but unfortunately, or not unfortunately, for the want of a better word, it's using the screen this time. So and what we've got is we've got two different ways we can use this. We've got, and it's stopped it and it's not playing. And again, we need you to just concentrate on this bit down here. So I'll just scrub through the track a little bit further, and we'll put slip on and use the brake. It's still playing, the track is still playing underneath, and you can see the needle is still scrubbing along, and it jumps back in. So with slip off, it's just stopped, and it's going to start from that point. If we put the slip on, it's where the track carried on to. I think that's a really interesting feature. Right, this also has a reverse button on it as well, but it's got an interesting little trick that you can do with this actually that we've found out. Just in normal reverse mode, press the button and it's going to reverse. But what we've noticed is when we put slip mode on, we get something a little bit different. Now I've got a track playing on one of the other decks. Now, happens to be the same track, but we've looped a part out of it. We've got our beat going over the top here now, so that's off the other deck, and that's off the 700. We've got this going on, so they're both in there, we've got them synced up. Now if we press the reverse now though, what happened there? I'll do it again. What happened there was it reversed for 8 beats and then jumped back to where it was using the slip mode. Again, I'll just run through it just so we got this track playing on the other deck, and we've got our, and we'll set it from the beginning. With the slip mode on, all staying in time. Now what also you can do with this system as well is if we've set a loop up and we want to remember it, or say we've set a loop in Recordbox and want to bring it in. Well, we've got a loop set up here. If I wanted to memorise that, it's actually memorised it now. So then if I went back to my browser and we picked another track, played it, then we went back to my browser again and went back to my original track, it will save it, and now I can call it. So you can see the marker there, it's brought it in, and if I press play, it's brought that loop back. So I can save my loops again using the loop memory button, and you can do that bringing stuff back in from Recordbox as well. So if you like to set your loops within Recordbox and then recall them on the player, you can do, as you can with the cue points as well. So if you want to save your cue points within Recordbox and do all your preparation within Recordbox, bring your USB sticks here and you will be able to recall all that information. We've also got some other of the usual features. Say I wanted to adjust this loop, I can adjust it now just by winding it back. Hopefully you can see on the screen there, we're reducing. Features that we've found on all the CDJs for a lot of years. The jog wheel is a little bit littler. If you are into scratching, yeah, you can scratch with this. It has got a vinyl mode and it's, you know, proper responsive, what I expect. It does feel nice and smooth. I would say it's very much like the old XDJ-700. It's not very loose, but it's not too stiff neither. But I find it very responsive. We can turn the vinyl mode off, and then it just becomes a pitch bend. Again, more features. If your gridding was out, if you press and hold this, we can now do our gridding on the fly and adjust the grid on the fly. So if I can just show you there, 1 second. That's in zoom mode. Press it in again, we can grid. Right, that grid was out, we can bring it back in. You can see the red line moving across the screen. So say you hadn't done your beat gridding within Recordbox, or someone's handed you a track and it hasn't been beat gridded, no dramas, you can do it on the fly here, just by pressing and holding. Right, just to have a quick look at the back of the unit. We've got our power supply in, comes with its power supply. So let me just show you, that's the plug that would go in there. Comes with all that. We've got our audio in and out. We've got our link for the Pro Link, and we've got USB so we can connect this to our computer. Like I said, this is compatible with the new Recordbox DJ software, which we'll probably show in another video using this. Again, going to the underneath of there, you can see it's got these little feet on. Right, we just squeeze the little buttons in there and it removes the feet, so it gives it a lower profile altogether. I just think that's a really neat piece of kit. So there you go, that was my first quick look at the XDJ-700. I'm really impressed with it. I think it's got so many uses. I think it, if you were looking for that third deck and you didn't want to splash out on a 2000 if you've got a full setup already, I think it was an add-in deck, superb. As a little setup, fantastic. I think it works. I'm so impressed that it's got the Pro Link, the Recordbox, the touchscreen is right on it. I was a bit worried that it was all going to be a little bit small, but it's not. It's the same size screen as what we're used to on the bigger stuff. So I'm really happy with that. All the features are there. If I rocked up to a bar or a club and that was there, I wouldn't complain at all. It really is a good all-rounder, and at such a price point, it's unbelievable. Don't forget, here at Phase One we have all of the Pioneer stuff on display. You're more than welcome to come down. I'm a big Recordbox user myself, so Recordbox is something that we can teach you and show you how to go on. For more information on this product, click the link in the description to the video and it'll take you through to our website. And you know, come and see us in the shop. It's Mike at Phase One. Cheers.